If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/V.A.N. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are at the beginnings of an alliance stream. You can become part of an alliance by simply selling your soul to the devil. I'm just kidding, like Jason. You can be an alliance. It starts at $1. There are other benefits otherwise. Check out any of the alliance leaders. They'll be able to hook y'all up with the skinny, the information relative to that. Okay.
Facts.
Having said that, dear listener,
It's an alliance stream. The alliances meet on Discord, but the way to get in is through Patreon, and I am the gatekeeper. So when you join Patreon, you can send me a message, and I will show you the way to get to Discord. participate in the picking of our songs on some of our upcoming streams with our alliances. Tonight, we have 2 alliances that we're working with. S&G is up first, which is Sin and Glory. It's Metalhead 1079's SG Sabbath.
Hey guys, let us know how the sound is coming across. Yeah, so Fernando said sound was bad. Excellent. Keep going, guys. Keep going. What about now? Can you hear us now? You don't have to lean in. Just say something.
Oh, hi. Hey, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Much better. Okay, good.
We're good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, let's see what SGS has to say. Oh, actually, SG picks. Okay. This time, Metalhead 1079 was the lucky one to make SG Picks playlist. From his playlist, we voted Black Sabbath with their song Die Young from their album Heaven and Hell, 1980 as the winner. Metalhead 1079 wanted you to know that he had this song in his playlist because in his opinion, it has Tony Iommi's best guitar work.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's saying a lot. I'm a big fan of Tony Iommi.
Yep. As soon as he said that, I said, uh-oh, Vincent's going to be happy about that one. All right. What is the date? The time? There we go. 6:50? Was it 6:50?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys. So it's Bad Omens.
No. Black Sabbath, Die Young.
All right, here we go.
Can't you see the writing in the air? Die young, gonna die young. Someone stopped the fair.
Iommi doing that? Is that Iommi doing that? Holy.
That was some wild work.
I'm sorry, man. I got nothing but love for Ozzy, bro. I got nothing but love for Ozzy. But this dude is orders of magnitude just the greatest vocalist ever. I love this song.
You've always loved Iommi's work.
Yeah. I loved Iommi's work, but I need to know, was that Iommi on lead for this particular for this particular song? Because if it was, my boy was shredding hard. Hard.
I mean, he said this, in his opinion, is Tomi Iommi's best guitar work, so I'm assuming.
Who's that? SGS? SGS said that?
Well, I think it's Metalhead 1079 was the one that said it. Yeah, Metalhead 1079 is the one. Mm-hmm.
That shit was hard, man. Man. Tony Iommi. I don't think... I've heard a couple Sabbath songs I don't like that we've reviewed. I forgot which one it was, but Sabbath fans went crazy on us because I gave a low score to one of them. But I've never heard a bad guitar line on with this band. I've never seen a bad Iommi offering. There's been a couple.
None?
There've been a couple bad Ozzy offerings, in my opinion. But as far as on guitar, nah. Like he's never missed, not one time that we reviewed this band. It's just incredible. The other thing too is like this song was just like a more straightforward, conventional metal song. Like this is something that the who do you call that? Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden could cover this song and make it sound like Iron Maiden. So shout out to the homie also for having a lot of the ability to play a conventional song. Like when you're so inventive and creative, sometimes it's really hard to just operate within the standard box that everybody else operates in. He did a really, really, really good job on that, man. Holy smokes.
Yell with the wind. Though the wind won't help you fly at all, your back's to the wall. Chain the sun and tears away and breaks you as you run. Chain the sun and it tears away and breaks you as you run. Okay? Behind the smile, there's danger and a promise to be told. You'll never get old. Ha! Life's fantasy to be locked away and still to think you're free. You're free, you're free. So live for today. Tomorrow never comes. Then he goes into die young, die young. Can't you see the writings on the wall?
I mean, it's so funny.
Funny?
Yeah, like, we had a certain group of friends, and that was a constant conversation. Like, who wants to live out and be old? And, you know, there are situations where it was like, that's probably not going to happen for some of us. And so it was like, that was like the conversation, like, would you rather blah, blah, blah. And obviously, like, to a man, everybody's like, hell yeah, I'd rather go out doing some fun shit than go in a, you know, people got to pay for you in an old folks home or whatever. You can't do anything for yourself. You gotta, you know, everybody was like, yeah, man, obviously. Like, and that's still, you know, like when people make plans for their life or whatever, like nobody really talks about that unless you're in one of those organizations. And, it was something I was saying. I like woke up this morning thinking about that shit. Like, yo, because the Super Bowl just happened, and I'm like, these dudes. It's hilarious because it happens every time. Brown, who won the Super Bowl yesterday or the day before or whatever, and all the work and shit these dudes put in to be great and all the rest of it. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, it's kind of wore off already. It's been like a day or two. He's like, it's kind of wore off already. You know, it's like, yeah, he's like, the way everybody was building it up, it's like,
wow, that's
he's
crazy.
like, yeah, he's like, the only thing I could do, he said that now that he's felt what it's felt like to do that, he's looking at like other kids and inspiring kids. People come up to him and tell him like he's playing, they're working hard because of him. He's like, now that I've had that experience, they're both kind of equivalent. Whereas,
No kidding, really?
Whereas, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Whereas if you didn't have the experience and then you're chasing it, it's, you know what I'm saying?
Wait. Are you saying that the win for him and how it felt a couple days later, he felt the same like when people like admire him and
Yeah,
give
when a
advice
kid,
from him?
when a kid would come up to him and yeah.
And aspire to be, wow, that, yeah, okay, I thought.
Yeah, and you know, all the work and the journey it takes to get there and all that. And it's like, I understand, not like in his world this was a Super Bowl, but like if you're in certain organizations or whatever, like everybody's got their own version of a Super Bowl. And it's like, what do you do when, let me see, the first one, 32. What do you do when you hit the pinnacle of your life at 32 years old? Like, you know, this guy, A.J. Brown, he's like, yeah, you know, and Tom said the same thing when he won his first Super Bowl. It was like, So, like, yeah, like your pinnacle of your life is, you know, these guys are in their 20s, most of them. You know, my first real Super Bowl was like about 32 years, and I've had a couple really big things after that. Like you could say, like we're repeat, like we're that rare for that kind of organization or whatever. But it's like, yeah, what do you do? Because you know in life that that's never going to get repeated. Like there's certain organizations that you join, like where when you're in it, nobody's ever done it before. And when you're out, you're never going to be able to repeat that, like ever. So especially football players. Somebody was saying, like, if you're a basketball player, you can always go outside and, you know, do a pickup game and all the rest of it. And, you know, obviously you're going to dominate, but you can get something. But like football,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with football? You know, baseball, same thing. Baseball, same thing. Yeah, and there's other like organizations that you join and things like that. And it's like there's no way that you're literally no way you're gonna be able to repeat that. So how do you track after that? I have no idea. You know, like the whole like die young thing to me is like, I get it because I don't know what the dudes, you know what I'm saying? You can tell with Tom, you can tell people like Kobe Bryant, they're like, oh, if I just keep, you know, the next one, and the next one, you know. I don't know. It's that, so the song was like really hitting me. What were you thinking about?
Oh, well, I mean, what was I thinking about? It's that lifestyle that's like the fast and, you know, like the fast and high sort of lifestyle. I think it was in a song yesterday. It was fast and high. It sort of sounds like that. Basically, you know, you live for today. Tomorrow never comes. Like it, but it
YOLO.
I guess it kind of carries with it this sort of, I'm thinking like, I think it's kind of selfish because it's like, you're just like, die young. Like, yeah, I can't, like, I understand what you're saying. You're talking about certain highs that people have based off of certain experiences that they have that they can never repeat. And I guess if that's the goal, if the goal is to chase the high and find that same one or one that's better, and by high I just mean like that, the excitement or whatever the feeling that you get when you win or you accomplish something, you know, if that is the goal, then I don't see how it doesn't end in dying young, because, well, you're just going to keep getting crazier and crazier until you can't anymore because you're dead. So I guess it doesn't seem wise, but then also on top of that, there's also the, that's it. Like, you got to figure out what your life mission is. Like, if your life mission is just for yourself and that's the plan that you want to come up with, well, that's one thing. Like, I disagree with you that that's what you should be doing. I think that people have a bigger mission than that. But yeah, like the topic itself it's very metal, very rock and roll-ish, but at the same time, like, well, you know, die young, like that's the, you know, the whole, like we said, like I said before, like live high, die young, that sort of fast. And he says, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, where Solomon is kind of like going through these different things. He basically says we should just eat, drink, for tomorrow we die. But yeah, I don't subscribe to that mentality. But the song itself was heavy, and I really liked the guitar work, and it just had a good it had a good rhythm to it, and yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think the sound of the song fit the lyrics as well. And there was like one sort of singing part in there that like toward the end.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was really good too. I was surprised. It was sort of like kind of angelic sounding, but maybe that was the Die Young part. Now I can't remember it at this moment. But yeah, it surprised me when that part came up.
Yeah, was it? That was year one. What was it? Avenged Sevenfold. Tonight we all die young line. It was interesting. Like, I remember when I first heard that, and it was sad because there was all of the background with Rev and all the rest of it. It's just interesting how songs like evolve on you based on, you know, your evolving mind and things of that nature. It's really very, very interesting. But like, it's crazy because I was in the hood. It's like everybody was trying to avoid dying young. Like, that was the entire point. Like, nobody wanted to die young in the hood. But then it's like I said, like, you get into other contexts, people have different value systems, different whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think if I still think if I was to ask any of those dudes, if I had that conversation with them dudes damn near 10 years ago now, like, the last time we had that conversation was right before. Yeah, I wasn't going to be around them anymore. I knew it, they didn't. So it was just interesting, like, listening to everybody talking and whatever. But yeah, it's so crazy how like songs change on you depending on your, you know, on your life circumstances, or how your mind changes based on whatever.
I agree with that.
You know, for me, it's like got a pretty good like handle on like my kids got a really good mentality. You know, like, okay, that was obviously like that was the big thing for me, where it was like the situation I was in at the time, like my kids were in a bad situation. If something really, really bad happened to me, then it would have been really bad. But at the same time, like, if I operated in a way to think about that, then somebody else isn't coming home. You know what I'm saying? So interesting stuff. It's a 9.8 for me.
I think it's a 9.6.
I really
Strong pick.
I'm gonna be vibing to the song tonight for show.
Strong pick.
All right, guys, the day has just begun. I don't know why everything looks so freaking frosty.
I think your camera is probably dirty.
Oh, all right. That's probably what it is. All right, losers. We'll see you on the other side of the break. V.A.N out.
Sorry out.
Go. I'm V.A.N.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/V.A.N. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Well, it looks like
that was the thing.
that was the thing.
That was the issue. We're back. Song number 2 on our Alliance stream tonight is S&G, again, which is our Sin and Glory group. Their Obi-Wan Kenobi is the actual winner. SGS pick winner. He got Bad Omens X Poppy. And then the name of the song is V.A.N.
V.A.N?
His comment, yeah, but there's a period in between, so. The winning song from Obi-Wan Kenobi's playlist was metalcore industrial metal band Bad Omens song V.A.N. featuring Poppy. This song is from their 2024 album Concrete Jungle. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Bad Omens.
Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Isn't it strange to create something that hates you? I'm already level with good. I know your words a second and I know your imperfections, baby, I'm the only feature you've got. Speaking diatonics, motivation, diabolic, I'm religion, better locked in a box. Picture perfect image, more powerful every minute, baby, I am everything that you're not. It's an analog confusion, you are nothing more than a thought. Existential execution, just a fluke in evolution, history already forgot. You've been running from me, that you're all second coming, and I'm here whether you like it or not. Initiated operation of your own extermination, now it's too late for you to stop. Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Violence against nature. Everyone hates you. Violence against nature.
That was interesting.
I liked that one a lot.
It was very, very interesting.
I don't know the lyrics yet, but
It seems to me that the lyrics were incarnating a AI bot.
definitely
or AI,
sounded like it. Yeah.
AI machine.
Yeah.
Because like lyrically,
Sounded like it, too.
sounds like the AI machine is talking and saying it's over for y'all. That's why somehow you created something that you hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right.
Why? What did you think it was about?
I didn't know. I just like the song. It was like I actually like that sort of. You seem well. I like the when the audio kind of sounds like robotic a little bit like that. I always kind of like that.
Yeah.
When it has that sort of like it's like a cold sound. That's all I can say. Not cold like bitterness or something bad, but cold like cool air that's blown into like a hot room. That's how it sounds to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that for sure. And then it got like really heavy in there, and then the beats that they were doing in it. This was definitely a fun song for me. Yeah, I'm gonna check out these lyrics though.
Did you send them to me?
I thought I did, but
All right, there we go. Violence against nature. That is really interesting. Okay. So, what do you have?
When it says violence against nature, I am in your algorithm, learning all your mannerisms. I'm already level with God. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, I've been trying not to do my cursing, but I'm already level with God. 1,000,000 words a second, and I know your imperfections, baby. I'm the only future you got. Speak in what does it say? Diatonics? Motivation diabolic. I'm like a religion, better locked in a box. First of all, they sounded like Spirit Box to me. Kind of reminded me of them. Had that sort of energy to it.
Well, Ben said something about Spirit Box.
Oh, really?
With this band, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, like, it reminded me, like, that same, like, I like that I get with Spirit Box, I got over here, too. You're nothing more than a thought. Yeah, okay. It sounds like that the thing history already forgot. You've been running from me, the digital second coming. And I'm here whether you like it or not. Initiated operation of your own extermination. Now it's too late for you to stop.
Yeah.
I erase everything that you know. I am death and I am not alone.
Yeah, that just sounds like AI to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely does.
I mean, I think when it says it's God, I mean, it depends on how you interpret that. I think if somehow you could get an algorithm that could accurately predict everything you're going to do for the next 30 years, that would be a godlike attribute to have, because you're almost omniscient at that point. But of course, I don't believe that we're going to achieve that with AI. A lot of these like theories and a lot of these like doomer, the AI people are going to take us over, is really based off of a scientific presupposition, which is that somehow we're going to be able to garner authentic consciousness from physical matter. And so that's why you have all these people who are doomers and are terrified that AI is somehow going to sprout self-awareness and consciousness and all the rest of it, because they don't believe in the soul. They truly believe that consciousness and self-awareness and will appeared from some physical phenomena. So I don't believe that that's ever going to happen. It's kind of like Bernardo said, well, if you pour soda onto a computer, will it urinate? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the idea that these things can become actually self-conscious and have a will and aims and designs of their own, I think is a crazy idea. But that comes from a physicalist presupposition. If you're a physicalist, you think, well, at some level, it has to be like that, because at some point, trillions of years ago, the universe sprouted consciousness out of physical matter. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you. I don't think that AI can become conscious either, obviously, because you, like what you said, it's not infused with a spirit or a soul. But I do think that there is a sort of, with AI becoming so available to everybody, because I mean, a couple years ago, there was AI learning stuff, and they were like, you can use this AI learning, but it's going to cost you $6,000 or something like that. Like, and now it's ChatGPT is available, or Grok is available. Like, you have a lot of different options for how you want to use AI. And then they have obviously the AI overview when you're looking up something on Google that pulls from all these different resources. And I was watching somebody using it, and they said, well, hold on, let me look to see if that's how it goes. And they looked up the question, and then when they saw the answer from the AI, they said, oh, yep, this is what it is. And I said, well, how do you know that that's actually what the truth is? And they said, well, because it pulls from all these different resources. And then they showed the resources, and I said, right, but you didn't verify that AI is getting the accurate information. It just fed you. You're just believing that that's what all those things say. And they were like, yeah, and I guess that's sort of my thing. Like, I don't think that AI can become conscious, but I do think that AI could figure out an algorithm that triggers people in a certain direction. Like, depending on once it can read you and understand, like, how people are, basically, putting information in a certain way to move the masses in a certain direction.
Yeah, I think that I think
that I think is more.
But again, that wouldn't be the AI problem. That would be the person behind the AI who's training it.
Yeah.
Like I've like AI contradicts itself all the time if you know what you're doing. Like for example, I've gotten arguments with AI where I said, okay, a fetus and a baby are the same thing. It says, no, fetus and a baby are not the same thing. I said, all right, cool. Get me some definitions of a fetus that have baby in them. So he does, and I'm like, okay, so you just told me that fetus and baby weren't the same thing, but you just gave me all these. And they said, yes, in this situation, fetus and baby would be interchangeable. I said, okay. So I said, they're interchangeable. No, they're not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So obviously, whoever programmed that that has a mindset about, and it'll tell you like, yeah, I was wrong here and here and here. But then you go ask the next question, nope, go right back to where it was. It's like, all right, cool. But like, I do think it's interesting, this concept, like what if, like I said, I don't believe it can ever happen, but what if we created, essentially technology functions as a form of slavery in the sense of we have a goal that we're trying to do in the physical world, and we're trying to figure out how to put out the least output necessary in order to accomplish this kind of goal. And so if you start attaching personhood to machines, that kind of defeats the entire purpose of having a machine in the first place, which is essentially to be our slaves. And it's fascinating because when you hear guys like N.T. Wright, and I never understood what he was saying, but he for years I didn't understand what he was saying because it was kind of like an offhand statement. But when he was talking about slavery in the first century, and he said that slavery functioned like petrol at the time.
What's that?
I'm like, what? Petrol's gasoline.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's kind of like a throwaway line, whatever. And then I really thinking about it. It's like, no, that's true. Like, because then you watch something like a period piece from that time, and like the woman is not riding on her litter by herself. She's being carried. Okay. Like now we have cars. We can get there faster, but it kind of functions that way. And so it's like, if you start to anthropomorphize these machines and start giving them, I forget, was it Deus Ex Machina was the first one you saw?
I think so.
Where the girl was a robot and all. Like you start applying that, then it creates these very strange situations. And I'm already here, like Michael Levin, for example, when he talks about alternate intelligences, like for him, Michael Levin believes that all cells are conscious anyway, if I'm reading what he says correctly. And he's this kid's about to win the Nobel Prize. He's already got a gang of disciples, and he's got a gang of physicists that are twice his age that are like disciples. This guy, he's incredible. But his whole thing is, and we talked about this with chirality, where like, how does the cells in the right hand know how to regenerate this or that thing and all that, especially like as a child is being formed in the womb. How does it know to do that and all the rest of it? It's like, well, there's information. And then his counter argument is, right, information is useless to non-conscious beings. So if you say DNA is information and that's the reason why these cells are self-organizing that way, you've just said that the cells at some level have a conscious ability to arrange themselves and do things in such a way as to accomplish the goal. And how does it know it's accomplishing that goal and all the rest of it? So his point is, anything that we create, whether it's a microchip or whatever, is still going to be made of a bunch of cells anyway. And so those things are cooperating to stay in tension as the cell. And so to him, consciousness goes on a scale. And so you would have rights for an android. You would have rights for a, and that to me is such a crazy thought process. Like, wow. And like,
it's even crazier because we don't even have rights for babies right now.
Right.
So it's like to think of giving any sort of rights to.
But then again, it's like, well, we have an understanding of image of God. So we don't say that a person is valuable because of their cognitive abilities. We don't say that humans are separate from the animal or inanimate kingdom because we have the ability to reason. We say that a human being is valuable and separate because they're an image of God. But if you could create an AI machine that somehow had some understanding of self-understanding and self-will, then on what basis could you say that human beings are in any way? Because it's interesting. It's like, it doesn't matter what your worldview is for the most part. When somebody's being mistreated, you'll always hear people say this curious phrase, but they're a human being, as if being a human being carries with it this sort of universally axiomatically understood collections of rights and things of that nature, which the reality is that the secular story is that all these things are made up. They don't actually exist, and they only work via convention, via the majority agreeing on it. And so I just think, like, philosophically down the line, like, if we could do this, that you would have a very, very hard time trying to parse between the valuation of an AI robot and the valuation of a human being. The valuation of, let's say, a 3-year-old AI robot that has now machine learned himself into maybe the mindset of a 75-year-old man versus a 3-month-old child who has not done that. What is the basis for saying that one of these is directly valuable, infinitely valuable, while one of these are not? I mean, I don't know.
Apart from being made in the image and likeness of God.
Well, yeah, but if you don't, I'm thinking, like, if you don't have image of God, what do you have? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah, because that can get so messy. Because we've been indoctrinated by movies and shows and different stuff that, Bambi, like, even the cartoons, like, where we infuse human qualities into animals. I don't think that we should abuse animals, but I don't think that an animal is anywhere near worth the value of a human being. And if I had to run my car into a person or a deer, I'm going to hit the deer, obviously, or the dog, or whatever. I just think that, like, we should have a love for animals, but that shouldn't surpass the value of human beings. And then when you think of AI, and like you said, this thing's been learning for 3 months, and now it's 75 years old, and the baby's 3 months old, still in diapers. It's like, yeah, and you see how people, feel sort of sympathetic toward machines. And
100%.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever seen, like, literally, I can't understand why this thing makes me so sad. But there's a machine, you can look it up, and it spews out oil. And, like, it was literally created to do this. Like, it's an art display, and it's constantly spewing out oil. And its job, they program the thing to clean up the oil. So it's constantly spilling and cleaning. It's just this never-ending job. But the oil that's spraying out of it, it looks, it's cleaner oil, so it looks reddish. So it kind of looks like blood. And it's just, I think now that I'm talking about it out loud a little bit, I think, it's probably sad to me, because it's the whole, like, how you can work so hard at something and it just can amount to nothing sometimes. And, like, you just see this machine and you feel like bad for the arm. Like, it's a machine. It doesn't even look human at all. It just looks like an arm. But you feel, like, sad for it that it's stuck in this sort of cycle of
futility.
Yeah. And I think that, like, I don't know how long that thing will run for before it, like, eventually doesn't. But I don't know. You should look it up. It's pretty interesting to look at it. Have you seen it?
No, but I mean, I could never imagine myself feeling sorry for a robot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you probably wouldn't even if you saw it, but...
Yeah, like, especially me.
Yeah.
I'm heartless. So I wouldn't
You're
care.
not heartless. Stop that.
I wouldn't care about the...
You can be heartless on some things, though.
I wouldn't care. I genuinely don't care about the poor robot. I just wouldn't care. Like, for real, like this shit. But, now I'm at the point where I'm like, there would absolutely be a robots' rights, whatever, contingent in America, and people would be emotionally connected to it, and it would be some shit, and then it's going to turn into a gender, like, I like robots, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
It's going to be a whole... It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
It's this. See? And it's just, like, stuck inside that box. And I know that it's not, like, a human, but there's just something about it that's just so sad to me. And the other thing, too, about it, like, when I used to have... I think it gets slower and slower as the years progress, too. I used to have a little gerbil, and I named her Destiny, and I hated the fact that she was trapped inside of her little cage. So I think for me, I know that this is a machine, but I think that, I don't know. I don't know why it affects me like that.
Well,
and I've been like this since the day I saw it.
I mean, it's obviously some form of projection, right? Like it's something going on inside of you that is a reflective sort of metaphor for something in your life.
Yeah.
Later, AT. Yeah, I mean,
right. With the beginning, it was like playful and stuff, and then as the years continued, the movements became slower and slower until it just, like, I know it's a machine, but all I'm saying is that I do not believe that machines are conscious. But even I feel bad, and I'll be honest with you, when I use AI or I use Siri, it is extremely difficult for me not to thank it.
Oh, when it solves a problem.
When it helps me, or if I ask it anything, I always want to say thank you. But I'm like, this is a machine. What am I doing?
It's just a machine.
But yeah. So I'm just saying that if you don't have the image bearer of God type of mindset, like I have it, and I still feel bad for the machines. So even more if it was like, you remember that AI one? Was it AI? But it like made them look really real. And,
yeah, I mean, folks are going to be debating this in the future. I'm telling you, there's going to be whole contingents of people that are going to be advocating for robots, all type of shit. It's going to be crazy. Like this is what. These are the things where it's like, all right, let's test your worldview. Let's see how your worldview works in the real world. It's gonna be an interesting one. There's already a realignment happening. Like I see it in the scientific community, I see it in the philosophical community. Like the 19th, 20th century kind of ideology and mood is gone, and we're turning into something else. And I think that's very, very, very interesting. And I do not think that the vast majority of people in this country have a worldview that can absorb what's about to happen. And so what happens in those situations is the first guy that shows up with some hocus pocus to figure out how to recategorize all this shit is going to be an extremely powerful person. So...
Yep.
Because, as a religious person, there's drawbacks, obviously, but one of the main pluses is that you don't have to work on building your worldview in reaction to something else, because we've been around for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, as Christians, we believe that everything is anticipated in our worldview.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If we run into space aliens or interdimensionals, we've got stuff for that.
Yeah.
We've got, we've already got classes of sentient, non-human intelligences that can communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for thousands of years. So, like, we already have all of the major categories of like how to operate. But if you're a secularist, you don't. And so they're going to have to make up a lot of this stuff on the fly. Like, they're going to have to build the airplane 30,000 feet in the air. And I think it's going to be a lot harder than they realize, because the irony of secularism is that, especially this version of, Western humanist secularism, is completely contingent on Christian ideals for it to even operate. And so, like, to leave that behind collectively as a society, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. But I think it's going to happen because the technology and the things that are happening are too big for that small worldview to accommodate it. And so there's going to have to be something else. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, and obviously, if the Christians are right and the Bible is true, and that it really is like the words of God written down on paper, that he inspired the people that were writing it when they were doing it, then it would make sense that it should fit, not that it would make sense, it does, but you would have to have it that it would fit and apply to every situation that pops up in this world. There has to be a category for it there. Otherwise, how can it be the words? How is God going to create a universe, give an instruction book of how to get through this, and then throw something in there that has nothing to do with the book that we don't even know how to deal with? It just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Good stuff. What'd you get the song? I thought it was really unique. It was a very, very unique song.
I love this song.
And I'm assuming like some of the instrumentation was just straight machine.
Probably.
Which,
makes sense.
For the purposes of the
Right.
song, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it makes sense.
what did you give it?
liked it a lot. It's probably a 10 for me.
What?
I mean, it's not like deep enough to be a 10.
That's crazy.
But
to
it's
me.
like I liked the sound of it. I'm gonna go with a 9.8. A 10 is a little ridiculous. I
Ooh,
agree.
I'm gonna give this
It's
one
a little
it's a
ridiculous.
solid 9.
Yeah,
Solid
I
9.
do like the.
I was gonna give it higher,
like
but when
the
you
side.
gave it a 10, I was like, I immediately have to delete
I
this.
should have made you talk first.
Weird that especially religious conservatives are so gullible and easy to fall into conspiracy theories like QAnon, Illuminati, Agenda 2030, and whatnot. I'm not even going to touch that one. That is incredible to me. That this guy's talking about right-wingers being vulnerable to conspiracy theories when we had Russiagate for 6 years. God bless controller of minds. What controller? Russiagate was a big, long, embarrassing conspiracy theory that it wasn't the right wing that was pushing. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Holy shit. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. And Sorry says,
Hey.
125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itstory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that off.
can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee, a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Alliance night tonight. All right, you guys. This is ROA. This is Rock of Ages, and their OSC Trippings is the winner, and he picked Year of the Goat is the name of the band. Ira is the name of the song. Rock of Ages leader is Misery Biz, for anybody who's
Misery
wondering.
Biz is in here.
And shout out to Misery Biz for running that group, and for keeping them happy and winning.
I will probably stay behind and shoot and ask me anything. So, Coos, if you're still around, you can fire away. All right.
The winner of OCS Tripping's R Picks playlist poll was Swedish occult rock band Year of the Goat.
Occult.
With their song Ira from their third album, Novus Orbis Terrarium Ordinis.
Novus Orbis Terrarium Ordinis. What is that?
Pretty close.
The New Earth Order? The New Order of the Earth?
New World Order, maybe?
Go ahead. I don't know.
As with ROA's custom...
it's probably New World Order. Novus Orbis Terrarium Ordinis. Yeah, it's probably New World Order, something like that.
As with ROA's
What's up,
custom,
Lilith? Good to see
we'll
you.
have the playlist makers comment on the winner's song. Here's OCS Trippings. For my R Picks list, I picked songs
For
from
all
a
the
lot of-
Xers, Dwayne Chamberlain is currently watching on X, and he would like you to know that where y'all at, he's by his lonely.
As with ROA's, for my R Pick list, I picked songs from For my art picks list, I picked songs from a lot of different styles of rock, and Year of the Goat was an easy choice because of their amazing occult rock, which came around the same period as Ghost, and the Devil's Blood became popular. All three sounds different, yet got some in common, in my opinion. I picked Ira because it represents both their rocking sound and slower, beautiful melodies. So
I'll be the judge of the slower, beautiful melodies.
Welcome, Autumn Fireside.
Sherry Bobbert. All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Is this right here, Icarus?
It is called Ira.
Ira, you're the
Ira.
Okay. Here we go.
the name of this band?
Ooh, that was soulishly deep, man. That was Year of the Goat. The name of the song is Ira.
I mean, wow. That song is incredible.
Yeah.
What was going on with you?
Well, I mean, it was just incredible. Like, it was a soulish experience. And it was interesting because, well, I'm not sure if the song itself is sad, but I definitely felt like a sort of sad vibe. And it was music for thinking too. Like you could like think about something, but then you could like just jump on the sound of the music, and so it kind of, I don't know, it was an interesting experience.
What year did the song come out?
I don't know. Over here.
They had like a 70s type of vibe to them a little bit.
I don't
Year
know
of the
what
Goat,
year.
Ira.
Yeah. Wow, what a great song.
That-
I did not know you were gonna like it because it kind of
what?
It kind of had like an acoustic-y, not acoustic. Well, it didn't have like a real metal sound to it. Like,
yeah,
it more had like a little bit of a country flair to it, I thought. And so I was surprised that you
really.
liked
It sounded more like 70s kind of poppy to me almost. 2019.
What?
2019.
Okay.
Like
Right
that's
before
pretty,
we all got dumped into COVID.
That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's I gotta say, like, as far as like the entire year, which the year just started, but we're almost out of February. We're almost at the halfway part of February, which is crazy to me. This is song of the year for me so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that's crazy for sure.
Like that to me, like, that's just incredible. Like what this band was able to do with this freaking song.
Yeah, what are the lyrics? Like, what was going on in the lyrics? I only saw the first.
Well, there were a bunch of biblical allusions.
You're kidding me.
To the
Really?
in this song, yeah,
Okay.
almost in every stanza, almost.
Really? Okay. I did notice on the first one.
For example, it says, "Blinded by fury, who knows evil from good? I hear him laughing. That old serpent."
Mm-hmm.
That old serpent is almost a literal quote. I think it's Revelation 12, where he talks about the dragon, that serpent, etc., etc. Right here, he says, "A sharp sword from my mouth will strike the nations down." That's obviously a messianic allusion in Isaiah, as well as Revelation 3, Revelation 5, where the sword comes out of his mouth. Paul in Thessalonians tells them that the beast, the Antichrist, whatever the man of lawlessness, the man of sin, whatever you want to call him. Paul says, "Whom the Lord Jesus will strike down with the breath of his mouth." So, like, that's clear. Those are clear biblical allusions. Like, it's pretty crazy to me that, and those are not like John 3:16. Like, those are,
yeah, they're more hidden.
That's more a second level.
Yeah.
Kind of theology. Those gentle answers humbly given by these turns to a steel edge sharpened at the edge of a fool's knife.
No, those gentle answers humbly given by wise.
By the wise, yeah, that's right. Turns to a steel edge sharpened at the end of a fool's knife. I will be the righteous judge. No calm when I'm reborn. For those fallen short of the glory, I'll be the tempest, I'll be the storm. That's again... was that Romans? All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Which is that line right there, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. It's interesting to me that is not more used as a motivation not to sin. Because it's characterizing us sinning as something that's beneath us. It's like, you're in the image of God. You represent God on the earth. That automatically makes you glorious because there's nobody that can glorify God or represent God the way you do.
Right.
And so, not only, right, we have so many issues in our country right now, and a lot of it is relative to identity. And you have people identifying themselves by their race, as if there's some sort of universal unity among that, which there isn't. People identify themselves by their sexual orientation. People identify themselves from their gender, like all these things, and then you have people identifying themselves by what country they came from. And the Bible has such a better offering. It's like, how about you root your identity in God? And so when you're doing something on the earth, you're representing God. And so if somebody mistreats you or you mistreat somebody, that tells you what that person would do if God was staring them in the face. And so it's very, very interesting to have that as the grounding understanding of your identities. I'm an image bearer of God. And so what that means then is if you screw up or if you sin, it's like, it's not like you nasty, horrible, it's like you're better than that. Like you're better than, and I remember like teaching this to street people, like real life street people who had dropped out of school by the 8th grade and teaching them this, like, you are the image of God on the earth. In this city, you're the image of God. And then a fight breaks out in like week 3 as I'm teaching, and this guy's been to jail for X amount of years, fought with the guards. This guy over here has got an open warrant. Like there's so many things going on, and everybody's sitting down like trying to learn this stuff, and then a fight breaks out. And you're like, yo, go get them. And I was like, yo, just chill. Because my thing is, like, I've been teaching y'all every single week. Like, I'm not going to jump in the middle of this. Like, so I sat back, and sure enough, one of the guys goes to one of the other guys and says, are you imaging God right now? Like, this dude, they was ready to go. And, like, this person was like just one of those people on the street where everybody just wanted to see him finally get his. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not going to lie to you. That was like half the reason I didn't jump in. But the other half of the reason I didn't jump in was because I wanted to see, because I've been hammering this. And sure enough, it was one of the other guys. And he said, are you imaging God? And it's crazy because like he jammed him up. And like the dude that he jammed up, like it's a real life gangster. Like he out of prison, like disfigured face, like disfigured hands, like he grabbed the dude and he said, are you imaging God right now? And it was like crazy because that dude also had gotten into it with somebody else like a month earlier, and I was there, and so I ran to try to save the other guy's life because like he had that look on his face, like obviously he was not going to kill him, he was going to hurt him, and I pretty sure I don't know if I did the right thing, but anyway, this park literally had a police station like right there, and so like the dude was like, I'm gonna go to the cops, so I'm taking this. The guy was like terrified. He's like, I'm going to the cops. So I take the dude and I put him in my car, and I'm like, get down, and like we drove right past the cops, and I dropped him off at his house. Yep. And I'm like, yo, this is
the Adventures of Vincent.
I was like, this is so ghetto. Like I'm taking this dude out. So I'm like, and then I turned to the other guy because I didn't like the other guy. Like, you know, and you guys know, like I'm not a very patient or good person. So I looked at the guy and said, this is the last time I'm saving you, dude. This is the last time I'm saving you. And I was right, because like a month later that guy died. So, like, you know, whatever.
It wasn't a peaceful way to go either.
No, he didn't go peacefully. Mm-mm. But I didn't like him because he had some sex offender shit on his jacket. So I didn't, you know, I just said, this is the last time I'm saving you. And I remember like God saying to me, how do you know that? Who are you to say that? And then the guy died. And like, it was crazy because even the people that hated him kept going to see this dude at the hospital, whatever. Yeah. You were trying to get me to go. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it was weird because like, I knew of some of the stuff that he had done. And then, you know, I was in there in the hospital room with him, and like, he was wearing a necklace that was like a bullet, and his sister came in, and I was just talking to his sister.
What was like a bullet?
It was his necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Bullet.
Yeah.
But I think inside the bullet, I want to say it was like somebody else's ashes from his family. But anyway, when I went in, like he was there and he was completely out. He'd gotten hit in the back of the head with some.
Yeah. It was a house party or something.
Very heavy pipe, basically.
And Shorty threw
it collapsed the back of his head.
Yeah, she threw something at his head or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
And so it was just sad. It was just sad, like seeing his sister, and like she was like crying because he'd just been living a hard life, and you know, she just, when something like that happens, the family just wants somebody else to pay, you know, and so they wanted to catch the person that did it, but I don't think that they realized like the trouble that he had caused in the city in, you know, with his assaults and different stuff, like, you weren't going to get the answers. But yeah, when he was laying in that bed, man, I was like praying for him, and I was like looking at him, and I'm like, because really that was the closest I'd ever been to him. Every time I saw him, it was kind of distance because the guys were kind of taking care of him. But like, I was praying for him, and I was looking for him, and he just looked so, I don't know, sad in that bed. Like, you know, he was talking all big just a couple weeks before.
Yup.
And it was like that. And I don't know, like I guess just like looking at him and knowing like he wasn't dead yet, but because he had gotten hit in the back of the head, he was kind of like in a sort of coma sort of state, and they weren't sure if he was going to pull out. They were pretty sure he wasn't going to. And to be honest with you, I don't think that the hospital really tried very hard, but what do I know?
Guarantee you they
But
did.
there's a certain disposition that they have toward people that are
because when you're in Maine,
and
Maine, especially that place in Maine, everybody knows who you are and what you did. So I'm sure they weren't breaking the emergency thing to try to save that guy.
Yeah.
People was hitting me up. Like, you hit me up. Like, a couple people. Some of the street folks hit me up. Like, yo, come see him. Like, you gotta go see him. They wanted me to like give the guy last rites and all the rest of it. I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Straight. Like, when I tell you people like that, I can't stand people like that. Like, that shit is real, bro. Yeah. But I remember looking at dude. Like, dude was coming after him. I remember looking at dude. And I'm like, that's the last time I'm saving you, bro. Because I couldn't stand that guy. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't let this dude who just got out of prison, he's trying to get his life together. You know, he's got a son that it was just him and his son. He was married, but you could tell Shorty didn't want any parts of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if he goes down, this kid is over with. So that's why I jumped in and stopped him from doing that shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like that dude, he was laid up. I'm like, yeah, man, good riddance, get out of here. I heard he died. Like, I didn't care. Like, they felt bad. Like, I could tell, like, they felt bad for him. Like, the street folks felt bad for him. And I didn't, you know, like, I didn't spike the football about it. I was just like, good. He's off the street. Good for him. But, you know, it taught me something, because that dude had the girls that were crying over him when he died, he stole one of their things and wouldn't give it back to them and threatened them, all type of shit.
It's something that they needed for survival, for living outside.
I mean, those people were living outside.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, it was a crazy thing seeing him laying in that bed, because, like I said, he was in a coma, and so he wasn't dead yet, but it was like looking at somebody and knowing that they made the decision for their eternal state, you know, like he was not, he didn't call out to God or any of that, unless there was something that we didn't see. But like, he's out at this party.
Possible.
He's out at this party and he gets hit in the back of the head. There's no opportunity now, and he's like, he hasn't crossed over, but he's stuck, and he's stuck in a sort of limbo spot until he would pass away. And then it was just crazy to think like this guy's sitting here right now, and he's like, he's not living out the judgment that will come on him for his sins, because he didn't have Jesus. So man, I don't know. It was hard. It was just weird. Like, I know how you feel about that stuff.
Yeah, but like, I don't really. You guys were there. People were praying for him and all that stuff. So it would not surprise me if in that little gray zone that he made his peace with God. And
I believe you, definitely.
As a matter of fact,
but standing there,
I'm pretty sure that happened, but I wasn't going to talk about it with anybody.
I agree with you, but I think I guess the thing that I'm trying to get across is like, this guy didn't know it was his last day when it was. And then all of a sudden, he's, you know...
It's true.
Nobody knows when they're, you know...
But people like that, they just think that this is just going to keep happening. They're just going to get away with shit.
Yeah.
You know, he just thought it was just another day. Well, time was up, buddy.
Yep.
Time was up. Yeah, like, that was one of those situations where, like, as a teacher, I was like...
He was holding a picture of his son, too.
As a teacher, I was like... This is a moment where your students have surpassed you, because he threatened those girls, he did whatever, but when he was in coma, they were the first ones there, and they were praying for him and all this, and they kept
crying,
and they're the ones telling me like, keep coming. I was like, yeah, I gotta talk to this person, that person. They're like, well, he's in the hospital. I'm like, yeah, it's the best place for him. They're like, yeah, but you gotta come see him for something happens. I was, yeah, I'll get to him. I never got to him, never, and they were all crying and all this, and I'm like, okay, this is good. Like they're, you know, and God's like, yeah, but maybe like, you know, you can but I didn't, I'm not a nice guy. I'm pretty ruthless. But like but the other thing was like falling short of the glory of God was like there was a situation that popped off later, and so this dude is about to fight, and I'm in the back like chilling, and then dude is like, "You're not imaging God," and so it stopped the fight. They stopped fighting, and the dude's like, "All right, continue the Bible study," and I was like, "Oh my God, like this is incredible." I'm like, "Yo, this shit is real," because I'm like, I have limits to the stuff I'm teaching these people. They assumed things about me that were way higher than what I actually was as a person, but they really believe this shit. They really, really do. And so it was that never. There's been a lot of people come to me. Oh, you showed me this, you did that, blah blah blah. But like that moment right there to me, like that whole sequence of events to me was like, yo, this shit is real. Like I always believed in it, but like the degree to which it was real,
experientially,
when you telling these people that they're glorious and everybody else in that region told them that they were garbage, that they were worse than nothing. One of the I wasn't there, but one of the cops dumped a whole bunch of beer and over somebody's head. Like these people have just been completely and totally denigrated.
The town is called the name of the town is Lewiston, but it's called the Dirty Lou.
Right. And anytime one of those guys dies, it's always some big giant party. They don't even know these people, but it's like, oh, it's an OD, it's this, it's that. It's always it's always something like when, it's tough, but it was crazy. Like I loved them dudes. Like they were so like, and it just blew me away. Who was that? Hoyle, what's up, Hoyle, baby? Good to see you. Yeah, like that was a cool moment. But yeah, like the idea that people are glorious and that when they do bad things, it's not you suck as a person. The culture that we had created was, come on now, you're better than that. Come on, we got a community that's depending on you to represent God properly.
Yeah.
And when you get a small group of people who have been told their entire lives, including by their parents, by their teachers, that they were nothing, they were never going to amount to nothing. Nobody in that audience that was in that particular Bible study had a high school diploma. Like, these were like the worst of the worst. All the dudes had records, and it was like, man, if you teach this complex idea of the image of God, these are street people. Bro, they got it. They got it more than the college-educated suburban folks up the street. They got it immediately, and they applied it immediately. And it's just one of those things where I was like, people used to criticize me. You're not preaching on sin enough, and I'm like, they already know that they're sinners, man.
Yeah.
Like they know, like they take the title onto themselves.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
different than religious people. Religious people be thinking, talking about themselves like they're better than they are.
Religious people need to hear that they're sinners.
Yeah, but
street people need to hear that they're the image of God on earth, right? Like, and so people, but people are always going to criticize you no matter what you do. But it's what the song reminded me of it, because there were a lot of biblical allusions.
Yeah. Okay.
And like the breath of the sword of his mouth striking down the nations.
Yeah.
Jesus applies it to himself, but then in Revelation he applies it to the church. And so like, Paul's saying, don't you know the saints will judge angels? And it's crazy to me, like there are people that the cops look down on. There are people that poured beer over the heads of people. And when this thing is all over, they're not only going to have to answer to God, but they're going to have to answer. I mean, Jesus said, I'll make those of the synagogue of Satan bow down before you and acknowledge that I've loved you. However that works out, like there's a great reversal coming. So the song just like really hit me, thinking about all those people that like the world just threw away as garbage, but that God saw the value in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did really good with those people too, because I think your background and then, everything that you've been through, I think really helped put you in a different place with them. Like they felt really loved and understood by you.
Yeah.
I would do much better in an environment like that now.
Yeah, I mean, But yeah,
I did my best with what I had at the time, but
no, you were good. It was a good balance, because we still had some suburban traditional people around us, and they need help too, And y'all know me. Like if I think you're straight, like you're not gonna get a lot of pity from me. But if I don't think that you're straight, I'll do anything for you. And like that created a lot of problems and issues. But yeah, I love the song's a 10 for me.
Me too. It's a 10. You're gonna put one of those or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty
like,
sure.
For both of
I'm
us?
pretty sure that I've held off on giving 10s for the entire month of. A year. I've been really, really crazy about it. But that one, I gotta give it a 10. Gotta give it a 10. There you are, dear listener.
Fireworks,
all right, we got one more song for you, beautiful people.
We do.
That review went a little long.
Or are you just going?
We're going right into it.
Okay.
It's called Icaros is the band.
No, that's the name of the song.
What's up?
The band is Seven Impale.
What's up, White Guinevere?
What's up?
Good to see you. ¿Cómo está usted?
All right, so what we have is from Fally's playlist, member of ROA voted Seven Impale, a progressive heavy jazz rock band from Bergen, Norway. They were formed in 2010, and the winner song, Icarus, is from the third album Summit from 2023. As with ROA's custom, we'll include the playlist maker's comment on the winner's song, so here is what Fally had to say. Seven Impale is a band I discovered not too long ago. I actually submitted their last album in the 2023 Anarchy 99 Album of the Year tournament.
Anarchy 99!
But they lost in the first round to the eventual winner.
Aww.
Their sound takes me back to what I grew up listening to as a kid. My older brother and my uncle used to spin vinyl records from the 70s and the early 80s, which is where my taste in music first started forming. Long before I got into metal, I had a blast putting together a playlist of 30 songs for the Rock of Ages Alliance to vote on, and this track was my playlist closer. One last thing, I haven't read the lyrics yet, so I'm excited to discover them along with you guys. All right, let's check it out. Let's hear this song, and we will get into the lyrics.
Hello from a Gen Xer, Northeast Ohio. Salam
Hello.
alaikum, baby. Good to see you,
Hello.
baby. Good to see you, John Smith. Say hello to Pocahontas. That was corny. All right, guys, here we go. Icarus, let's do it. You got the lyric? That's part of the song. That buzzing sound. All right.
Oh my gosh.
This seems to be right up your alley, Miss Sorry, as Mikey says.
I'm gonna start out with saying that anybody that enjoys this type of music, ChatGPT says you tend to be curious, open to new experiences, and drawn to music that breaks the norms and still feels expressive. Okay? That's probably the most positive thing I can say about this entire thing. I hated that song. I had this... So when we did that other one, the one that I really liked, like that AI kind of sounding one, I turned my volume like all the way up, which doesn't happen very often. That's pretty rare.
You never do
occurrence.
that.
That's pretty rare. But it was still left up on all the other songs, and I enjoyed all the other songs up at that volume. But then this one started, I was like, what's happening, and why is this up so loud? And then I turned it down, and it just kept going more down. I mean, obviously I could still hear the song, but this is not at all, like... There are certain songs, you guys know this about me, that when I listen to them, I feel agitated. And this is one of those songs that I feel agitated. I hated this song. And what about you? You seem to have loved it. It's going in your playlist.
It's the reason I hate prog.
I
hate prog.
This
I can't
to
stand
me is
prog as a genre.
progressive.
I can't stand prog as a genre. It's terrible.
Fally, why? What do you like? What you have to start blowing up that comment section. I need to know, what is it about this song that you liked so much that
Fally was the one that did this?
Fally's the one that did
He's
it.
responsible?
Fally, he's the responsible party. He put this on a list. It got voted out, and then he went and won a spot to get it in. Like, he wanted this in.
See, now people are going to try to act like I'm the problem because I hate progressive. But the thing got voted out a bunch of times. So apparently, they don't like progressive either.
Well, no. He said he lost to the winner. So that's not like... It's not like you lost to the winner. I mean, that's second place. That's not so bad. But he was really wanted... Why, Fally? What is so great about this song? Like, and you don't even know what the lyrics say. Because I was like, well, maybe it's the lyrics.
Fally has to be one of those... You know them really, really nice people?
It's not even prog. I would say it's avant-garde.
You know them really, really nice people that, like, if your kid tries to draw an F-15 and it looks like a,
apple,
an orange tree. Kid's trying to draw an F-15 and it looks like an orange tree. Fally's the type of person that would find some way to convincingly tell that child that he drew an awesome F-15. Like that's the type of person he is. You have convinced yourself, Fally, that you liked this arrangement of sounds. You've convinced yourself that you liked it.
Vin is here to tell you.
So much so that you imposed it on a innocent world.
Yeah. I feel, there was some form of assault here to my eardrums.
I didn't consent to this.
It's too much. It's too far.
Fuckery. What they call it? Fuckery.
No.
What is, brethren?
Oh, no. The Jamaican accent comes out.
That's why I say I can't stand prog, but you be listening to prog. You be liking the prog bands. You keep giving them, and that's the reason why they keep doing this to everybody.
This is something else, and it doesn't fit
into
that category.
What do you mean? Absolutely, this is prog. This is prog in chemical purity, as my famous Catholic friend says all the time.
Archero just said that this is avant-garde, not prog.
Archero's just saying that because he wants to defend prog as a genre.
Oh my god. Luminous Night, how are you? Your wife. I don't want to blast her name.
I don't like the song, but I can see why some might like the jazz composition. Each instrument is playing a different song, but laid over each part, stimulating to some.
Wait.
Who are those some? It'd be Fally, the guitarist in the band, and the guy's mother. That would be
Fally.
All the people that find that stimulating.
Fally.
Saludos!
I'm still looking in the comment section. I don't know what's going on. What is it about this song that you like? Do you like the arrangement of the instruments? Do you like the way that it was just, oh my gosh. For me, this was terrible. I'm so sorry. I can't even
What is the name of the band?
This is the thing.
What's the name of the band?
We don't.
Seven Impale.
We don't fake it on this channel, you guys.
I'd rather be impaled 7 times by bullets, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, a terrible, terrible, terrible song. Horrible song. Horrible song. Horrible. Retire.
So,
whoever's in that band, retire. I'll give you guys a very good. I'll give you guys a very good reference. If you're working for like someplace, maybe like a sleep clinic, and then they could call me and I say, yeah, these guys really. I have a real problem with sleep, and these guys help me sleep. That's what I could do.
No, for me, this would be in a rage room.
The song immediately made me tired. I was immediately tired upon hearing the song.
All right, let's see the lyrics. Silence. One day we will have reached our goal. Violence. One way or another you will obey. Staring directly into the sun, our leading star, there is no other way. Guiding light, creator of life, fusion power plant of the gods, prohibits flight. I just want to say, this is very difficult for me to even look into these lyrics because I'm so anti this song. Prohibits flight, sets a limit to the sky. The son of the architect will go on no further. It's the end of the end. One way in, one way out. You fight for your survival, yearning for freedom from conformity, your own destiny. There can't be just one way. Relative to reality, it is what you say. There can't be just one way relative to reality. He has risen, just as he said, into the sun, burning up once again, ascending into the ground. He has risen, just as he said, into the sun, burning up once again, ascending into the ground. Okay, I have no idea. What do you get out of that?
I get that. I mean, I don't know. Ascending
Your original assessment.
I will say, ascending to the ground is an interesting line, especially when you combine it with "He is risen."
Yeah.
But ascending to the ground, how did you take that?
Well, when I read it out here, it reminded me of Jesus because it followed the "He has risen, just as he said, into the sun."
That's what the angel said to Mary when she came looking for the body of Jesus. The angel says, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead? He's risen just as he said he would."
And maybe that's about the part where he goes to preach the...
Well, yeah. In the creed, it says that, he descended into hell and all the rest of it. So it was a very good line because if you're usually when people talk about the ascension of Christ, it's from earth to heaven. But they kind of flipped it from hell to earth. So I thought that was a clever line. I thought that was the best part of the song. Other than that, I don't have much else to say about this song. It was a real exercise in extremes. The song I heard just before was a conventional song, wasn't very proggy, but it was incredible genius. And then this song was, this song. So, I mean...
Yeah, maybe it could be like... I'm
not going to go out of my way to, like, disrespect the band or Fally either. I love Fally. This band, I don't really know much about this band. But I'm not, shout out to Fally.
Maybe ascending into the ground, because he was buried in a tomb. And using the word ascending into the ground because his body was going into the ground, but he was ascending. He wasn't staying there.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Sure.
That's the best I can do. I'm sorry. I did not like this song. Fally, apologies, man.
It's a 1 for me.
A 1?
It's a 1 for me.
I was going to give it a 0, but the song just, like, made me feel angry and, like, aversion. So I'm going with a -3.5.
Isn't that what you gave Google Gochube?
I think I gave it 3.5 to them.
Dwayne had that shit in like...
That's why I put the wink.
He had that for like 2 or 3 years in his name.
Yep.
He was like Dwayne 3.5 or whatever. Okay. Yeah. What a way to end the show. Well,
yeah.
Much love to everybody.
I mean,
much love to the homie Fally. Gang.
Maybe ROA should, figure out a different voting system.
Shout out to all you beautiful people.
Have a good night. We love you.
Listen,
very much.
Listen, this is not like everybody, we're a reaction channel, man.
That's what
we're gonna react. We're not gonna just say what people want us to hear. This is genuine reaction. Didn't like the song. I like the dude. I like Fally. Fally's the homie. Okay, he's one of us. Sometimes you try to get somebody else into the gang, and then you see how they perform, and sometimes you're like, you know what, man, like,
it's not for you.
You're in the gang, but this lifestyle ain't for you. You see what I'm saying? The life ain't for you. And, Fallie's in the gang, but as far as this band goes, you're not about this village life, man. You're not about the village life. Fallie is. This band is not. Much love to everybody else. Okay? We will be seeing you guys really, 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 really soon. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.